Imagine this. It's late at night. You're home, maybe watching TV, maybe getting ready for bed. Suddenly there's a soft, hesitant knock at your door. You weren't expecting anyone. Through the peephole you see two children, around 10 to 13 years old, standing on your porch. They look lost, maybe scared, and ask to come in, maybe to use your phone, maybe for a ride. Something feels wrong, a deep sense of dread you can't explain. You hesitate, but the children persist, their voices eerily calm. "Please, let us in," they repeat. You feel an unnatural urge to help, but the sense of wrongness grows. Looking closer, you notice their pale skin, old-fashioned clothes. Then you see their eyes. Completely black, no whites, no iris, just darkness. These are the black-eyed kids, the heart of a chilling urban legend. Children in need, overwhelming fear, and those soulless eyes. The legend twists our instinct to help the vulnerable into something sinister. It asks, what if innocence is the greatest danger? Becks, as they're called online, don't jump out and scare you. Their horror is slow, psychological. Their calm persistence and unnatural presence unsettle you. People who claim to meet them describe a wave of panic, a fight-or-flight response they can't explain. It's this deep, instinctual terror that makes the story so compelling. The legend has thrived online, spreading from a single spooky story into a global phenomenon. The black-eyed children haunt our collective imagination, a modern myth for the digital age. Would you open the door?
Things you only talk about at the back of the cave.
So, who are the black-eyed children? They're usually described as kids or teens, appearing in pairs, ages 6 to 16. Their clothes are plain, sometimes old-fashioned, and their skin is pale or sickly. But it's their eyes, completely black, no whites, that define them. Often you don't notice their eyes at first. The reveal is the moment fear takes over. Their voices are monotone, oddly formal, and they always ask to be let in, into your home, your car, your space. The reasons vary. They need a phone, a ride, or help. Despite polite words, there's an undercurrent of menace. Witnesses feel a strange, hypnotic pressure to comply. The most common stories are doorstep encounters late at night, or car encounters at lonely stops. The victim is always alone, isolated, and the children always need permission to enter. That's the rule. They can't come in unless you invite them. And that's what makes them so unsettling. Every legend has an origin, and for the black-eyed children, it starts with Brian Bethel. In 1996, Bethel, a journalist in Abilene, Texas, shared a strange experience online. He described sitting in his car at night when two boys knocked on his window asking for a ride. Bethel felt a wave of irrational fear, even though they looked like normal kids. The boys insisted, saying, "We can't get in unless you say it's okay." When Bethel finally looked into their eyes, he saw only blackness. No whites, no color. Terrified, he sped away. Bethel's story spread quickly online, captivating readers with its chilling details. Soon, others began sharing similar encounters. The legend grew, fueled by the internet's power to amplify fear. Bethel's single, terrifying night became the template for a new kind of monster. Modern, personal, and eerily real. The black-eyed children were born in the digital age, and their story hasn't stopped spreading since. After Bethel's story, reports of black-eyed children exploded online. One man recalled a winter night, two kids, shivering on his porch, asked to come in. His wife felt uneasy and refused to open the door. When the man offered to call the police, the children's politeness turned to anger. "We need to come in," they demanded, their voices suddenly inhuman. Through the peephole he saw their eyes, black pits that seemed to swallow the light. Another account, a Marine in the barracks heard a knock, found two children asking to read with him. He felt instant dread, noticed their black eyes, and slammed the door shut. These stories share a pattern. The children prey on empathy, presenting themselves as helpless. But their presence triggers a primal fear, a sense that something is deeply wrong. Witnesses describe lingering dread as if they narrowly escaped a terrible fate. The horror isn't just in the encounter, it's in the psychological aftermath. The black-eyed children manipulate our instincts, making us question our own judgment. That's what makes these stories so chilling. The mundane meets the monstrous, right at your doorstep, and the fear lingers long after the children are gone. Would you have let them in? The black-eyed children legend is a case study in how modern myths spread. It began with Bethel's post in 1996, shared on early internet forums. For years it was niche folklore, but as the internet grew, so did the legend. Creepypasta sites and paranormal forums became breeding grounds for new stories and variations. The legend evolved, with new details and settings, but the core remained: children, black eyes, and the request to be let in. YouTube and podcasts brought the stories to life, making them even more terrifying. Soon, Becks appeared in TV shows, movies, and news headlines. Media coverage like the 2014 Daily Star story in England pushed the legend into the mainstream. What started as a single email became a global phenomenon. The black-eyed children are now a fixture in urban legend culture. Their story is a testament to the internet's power to create and spread fear. From digital whispers to worldwide headlines, the Becks have become a modern myth, and their legend keeps growing. Where are these encounters happening? Most reports come from the US, followed by the UK, Canada, and Australia, mirroring English-speaking internet culture. Texas, Ohio, Oregon, and Pennsylvania are hotspots, often places with their own history of strange folklore. In the UK, Cannock Chase became famous after media coverage of Beck sightings. Media attention creates a feedback loop: more reports, more coverage, more belief. Analyzing hundreds of stories, about 70% happen at home. Late-night knocks at the door. Around 20% occur in or near vehicles, the rest in parks or hotels. In nearly all stories, the children appear in pairs and always need permission to enter. Believers see the consistency as proof. Skeptics say it's just people copying the template. Either way, the legend follows a clear set of rules. The black-eyed children myth is unified, powerful, and persistent. It's a modern folklore that adapts and spreads wherever the internet goes, and the stories keep coming. What makes the black-eyed children legend unique? Their horror is psychological, not physical. No jump scares, just a slow, creeping dread. They exploit our instinct to help children, turning empathy into a source of terror. The invitation rule is key. They can't enter unless you say yes, echoing ancient vampire myths. This gives you power, but also responsibility. What if you make the wrong choice? The legend never reveals what happens if you let them in, leaving your imagination to fill in the blanks. Their origin is deliberately vague. Are they ghosts, demons, aliens? No one knows. This ambiguity makes them more frightening. They're a blank slate for our fears. The Becks are a product of the internet, evolving with every new story shared. Unlike old legends passed down by word of mouth, this one grows in real time, shaped by thousands of voices. The black-eyed children feel current, relevant, and dangerously close. They could knock on your door tonight. That's what makes them so effective. The terror is personal, and it's always waiting outside. Why do the black-eyed children scare us so deeply? They tap into the uncanny valley, almost human, but not quite. Their black eyes turn innocence into something alien and threatening. The legend preys on our instinct to help, making us question our own compassion. Encounters happen in safe spaces, our homes, our cars, violating our sense of security. The horror is intimate, immediate, and personal. The stories never explain what the children are or what they want. The unknown is more terrifying than any monster we can name. Are they energy vampires, demons, or something worse? The ambiguity leaves us with lingering dread. The Becks force us to confront our deepest fears, the unknown, the invasion of our sanctuary, and the possibility that our kindness could be our undoing. That's why the legend endures. The fear is universal, and it's not going away. The black-eyed children are a new breed of monster, born in the digital age, shaped by our collective fears. Their story shows the internet's power to create and sustain modern myths. The Becks twist innocence into terror, preying on our empathy and turning it into a weakness. Their horror is quiet, psychological, and deeply personal. The legend sticks with us, making us second-guess every unexpected knock at the door. Whether you believe or not, the impact is undeniable. The black-eyed children have joined the ranks of iconic urban legends, reflecting our modern anxieties. They remind us that even in our own homes we're not entirely safe. The legend keeps growing, with new stories shared every day. Some questions are best left unanswered, and some doors best left unopened. If you hear a knock late at night, would you let them in?